I'm very enthusiastic to be here. We're all ready to perform. They've asked me if I could sing a song, because they said it would pump you up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to sing you a short little Italian aria entitled Amor ti vieta. Amore ti vieta di non amar l'aman tu lieve de mi respinge cerca la stretta dello mio amar la tua pupil m'esprime a amor sei labro dice non t'amerò. We'll be performing Halo first.
You out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can see your halo. Pray one, I can see your halo, halo, halo. 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 You hit me like a rising sun, burning through my darkest night. You're the only one that I want. Think I'm addicted to your light. I swear I'll never fall again, but this don't even feel like falling. Gravity can't forget to pull me back to the ground again. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's the risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can feel your halo. Pray you won't face your halo, halo. I can see 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 your halo, halo.
As gracious as the board has been, as diligent as we have been. So this is our third time here, and I'll explain why. When you go through the charter, I'll start with that. When you go through the charter process, you write a petition. You write a petition, you turn into the board. You start with that packet petition. You go as far as you want to go. You go to the local, which is the local. You go to the county, you go to the state advisory, and you go to the state finally. You go with that one petition. Everybody comes through and they make their changes. You can't make any changes. You can just see what the modifications are. All of the boards have an opportunity to, according to a criteria, in order to decide what is according to Ed Code. There are many times things are according to Ed Code, and there are things that the board is particular about. At this point, at our first pass, we made all the changes that the local wanted. The second time we came through, we made all the changes that they wanted, came back through, board came through with some more changes. We made those changes. We took those changes, we went to the county. The county says we want some things too. We said, okay, we'll do that. So we took ours further because part of the charter process is to go and get as much information as possible. And everybody knows that in the last year we've had major budget cuts, but we've had a major way that student attendance, basically the monies that come from public education, has changed. So we thought, if we come through a second time, we've got everything, we must show those changes, the budget changes, because there are certain calculations, which we have a specialist to take care of that have to come through. Second significant was Common Core. So we came through and we made all our Common Core. The thing about Common Core in our second petition is that we mentioned much of Common Core, but as everybody is putting Common Core standards together, we went explicit. We didn't necessarily have to. California Department of Ed gives you a plan, and all you have to do is follow it, and so that's what we did. So we decided, you know what, we're going to come back. We now have a strong budget. We have all of our Common Core. We've been very explicit with everything that we needed. So thus we are here today, and it makes number 3. So we could be tired, but we're just not. Rosamond, as many of you know, I've worked at Rosamond for about 6 years, and I started with several teachers within Rosamond, and as we have subsided, it is me who is the last Rosamond teacher, but there are several other folks on the team. In our journey, we have picked up Young Media Inc, which is a very reputable legal team. We picked up our financial corporation. Do you want my water? Okay. We picked up a financial company which takes care of the money, and they are the experts to what they do. They are charter school management systems. So we're all familiar with who they are and what their reputability is. So we're here the third time with everything that we have to offer. We made all the changes that the district wants. I just want to give you a couple of ideas why our team is still motivated and why we are still on the bandwagon and we're here. Will we come back a fourth time? I don't know. The issue with charter schools is that we come to help, whether it seems like it or not. Don't take my ADA, I understand that. But we're still here because many of the educational scoring and system and what testing means, and that's like probably a bad word, it's still low. We offer help. We offer help in a lot of different areas. Our team is, how do you say, we're packed. And in this journey, we have picked up many other people that are just dedicated to being educational specialists. The charter petition, anybody can go look online at CCSA Charter School. It's a reputable company group, more like a group. They're the end-all be-all. They tell you what the process is, and it is a process. So if anyone has not had an opportunity to read our charter, we do have a website, it's rosamondcommunitycharter.com. It's there. You can read it. You can see what we say and what we are proposing. We're proposing, have we done it as a school? No, but we've done it as educators. Together, most of us, I won't say we have 50 years together, even 125, but I know of all of us, we have teachers that have been. I'm 16 years, we have another teacher that's 12, we have a 25, and the list just gets longer because we are gaining a lot of momentum. A lot of people are just interested in educational improvement. So I won't burn up my 20 too much, but what I'll say is that one of the first things that we believe we offer is that we offer an inclusive environment. What does that mean? That means our special ed kids are in the classroom with us. And this is what we say. An inclusive environment combines regular and special ed kids in one classroom setting. Our educational model will blend both worlds. How are you going to manage that? Well, we're going to depend on our task analysis. Our petition is public, read it. It's out there, you can read it. What is our task analysis? It has something what you all may call the SST process, but it's a little bit more, there's more tracking, there's more accountability, there's more parentals have to know, there's more teachers have to instruct. It's a component where we can't miss. We can't miss a slow learner, we can't miss a child that has a behavior, we can't miss a child who can't see, we can't miss a child who can't hear. It is, anecdotal to the max. We have to succeed. We close. We can't stay open with some of the scores that I'm going to give you. We just close. Charter is meant to help. That's what Ed Code says. It comes in, it's a part of the fabric of the public educational system. So I'll tell you this, our assessment for our inclusive environment is to have a task analysis where we are able to qualify students, where we will be able to determine the lack of instruction, processing deficits for students at risk. What we are most proud of in our task analysis and how we have gone over and over with what we believe that is going to be successful for our kids is a precursor to literary skills. We project an impact on speech and language services which means we won't have as much, which means we're bringing down our costs, and that's just a little dab just to let you know how we have actually tried to sit down and think how we are not going to cut costs, but how we are going to get the job done and be as effective as possible. Our project, we project an impact on speech and language services by providing a systematic language acquisition program for students. What does that mean? That means we will have a lot of oral instruction. The part that keeps us here for number 3 is that pretty much, and you can quote me or not, but public information tells us that special ed here in Southern Kern is between 13 and 14% and has been since 2006. Why are we here for number 3? School choice. We know that there are many districts in the Antelope Valley, and I'll say this is hearsay, but not everyone is transferring out and being accepted. You've got to move and you have to go to another school district if you are going to improve. That is where our informal survey tells us. We have children that are, for instance, in the homeschool for Tehachapi. Somewhere around in about 4 years ago there was 5 or 6. And you can find that pretty much. That's public record. Right now there's between 14 and 20, and that's what's recorded so far. There are many parents that are going out of Rosamond that are either moving out, driving out, or going somewhere else. The district here in around 2006 was like 3,500 on its way up. That was our peakest point, close to 3,600 students. Down quite a bit, somewhere around 3,042. That's not an accident. That is what parents are feeling. These are what we have, what we've been on the streets, we've been in households, you name it. School choice is what I'm getting, Part A, school choice. In approximately 2001, all districts were notified of the No Child Left Behind that they were going to be measured. There's going to be accountability. And I think I've said this once before. We're at 2013 going to 2014. And I know everyone will say, well, No Child Left Behind wants you to increment every year about 10 to 11%. They do. And in 2006, they started at about 23%. What is here in the district now is still at 38. So we're still working at some 2008 numbers. And the numbers tell this. Where Southern Kern is right now in terms of numbers is this. You get your numbers from children being able to answer test questions. Bottom line. They can either answer it or they can't. You can't go anywhere without that. They can answer it or they can't. They can read it or they can't at grade level. When they can't, they drop in certain categories for whether it's proficient, good, or wherever the situation. Below average, low, below, far below average, and so on. For the school choice for those parents who want somewhere else to go, who want another option here. Gas is $3.50 to $5 in some place. That's a long ways from Rosamond to drive to Antelope Valley, to drive to inlands of Antelope Valley, Tehachapi, or even to the base when everything is here. We offer school choice. That is probably the biggest thing that we have to offer is school choice. Why number 3? In last year, language arts was proficient over the district was 38.4. Math was 39.4. Math was 38.3. That's 2012. 2013. Rosamond Community Charter Elementary School is an elementary. We're not a middle school, if I didn't make that clear. Because what I'm about to say is to give you the scores of the elementary schools currently right now. I want to tell you that for language arts, overall the school is 40%. What does that mean? That means that we have a huge pie. Proficient is this small fist. The rest is non-proficient. What does that mean to curriculum? Where some are good, yes, some are good, but most of those goods are on the fence. If you check public records, you will see as the grades increase, they begin to drop. They begin to drop because their curriculum changes. For instance, if you are not very good reader in first grade and you didn't get all the curriculum, by the time you get to third grade, you're reading a word problem. You won't know what the word problem means. You can't understand it. If you can't read it, you can't understand it. That's what public record shows. That's what scores are. It is my understanding that folks mostly say, I don't like scores. They tell the truth in terms of if a student can't answer. It's just like a spelling test. They can either spell the word or they can't. We offer school choice to those kind of scores. For math, West Park Elementary is 49.1% in math. That means of the 300, and you all can do the math, of the 393 valid test scores, 49% were proficient. I can go through all the subgroups, but I don't know that you want to know that. For instance, I will just give you one that was kind of frightening. For instance, at West Park Elementary, the African American population, 32 valid scores, only 13 were proficient. That you're talking about from grades 2 to 5. That's not very good. That's why we're here. Rosamond Elementary School. Of 409 valid scores, 38.1 were proficient. Of 409 valid scores, 156 were at or above. So where the other kids go? It's a lot of kids. That's why we're here for number 3. I won't go on and on. I will just say to you that we're here again. What's in this new petition? It's basically the petition that you had. The budget has changed. Additionally to that, there was a reference that we talk too much about special ed. Well, according to Ed Code, you cannot deny us because we say that. You could create an LEA and let us have our own SELPA. We have enough specialists that can manage that. So we removed some. What did we remove? We removed some of the instruction. We are mostly special ed providers. We're not afraid of special ed. We have more answers than no's to the special ed. We believe, for instance, that there's a bang for our buck in our task performance and that we can reduce. We are sincere, we are honest, and we're here for year 3. There's not much more that I can say, but that we've made every change that they have asked. Will we be here for number 4? I don't know. But we're here now. We still care, and we look forward to hopefully some consideration from the board. We have applied for, someone says, well, where are you going to be located? We've applied to be located here in Hamilton, Hamilton Elementary. It suits all our needs. Do we have a plan B? Yes, but we want our plan A. What can we tell you? So with that, I understand there won't be an action today. You all have had the petition for a while. Being that the budget is the only thing that has changed, CSNC, our charter school management systems, they have all the answers. We all have our expertise in what we do. That's why we pay them. That's why we pay attorneys. And so with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan.